Big SEC guys, Joe. We're back and we're ready for week 5. Good week of football in the SEC, Joe. A couple of games I'm excited about. I know you are too.
This will be a power rankings, shakeup this week, bud. This is,
Oh,
we're gonna know a lot about the direction of the conference after this weekend.
this is a learn a lot week. I agree. And shout out to all the Georgia and Alabama fans listening to the show from the tailgate. We're going to have a lot of people going up to Athens. They're going to be listening to big SEC guys. I've already got some texts. Have that
We've
thing
got
ready to
a
go for my road trip.
got a big SEC guy gonna be in Athens.
There he is.
I
Half
am
of
I
big
am
SEC
taking
guys.
taking Sarah and the kids up. My mother was super gracious and allowed us to have the tickets for the game this weekend,
Love
and
it.
we are gonna be in person. I will take two at sending Daniel some content for the
Love
Instagram
that.
account.
Take one was a big fail. Let's see
It
how
was a
take two
huge
is.
fail,
Take
huge
one was a
fail.
disaster.
It was a
So take
disaster.
two. Will it be better?
Lot of frustration in take 1. So, take 2 will not involve any cooking. It'll just be we're in Athens game day content.
I got a good feeling about this, Joe. I think you're going to deliver. I think you're going to
Yeah,
deliver on the
it'll be
content this
something.
time.
Also, we'll have my wife, my PIC to help
Love it.
with the content creation and filming. So,
You need yeah, this podcast thrives on spouses that understand social media. I was putting up these
yes.
terrible Instagram stories and Haley was like, "What are you doing? I can do so much better." So, shout out to our spouses. They've stepped up for us in terms of our
Big
social media
SEC gal.
marketing.
Big SEC
Big
gal.
the big SEC guy. They should do a podcast about like little school. That'd be hilarious. The big SEC gals.
Would be hilarious.
That would be really good. All right, we'll table that idea. Let's start let's go by time. You know me, Joe. I like to go by time. That way our listeners can know,
Yep.
12 o'clock game, 3 o'clock game, 7 o'clock game.
Perfect.
I think that's helpful. We've gotten good feedback about that. And we're starting early, baby. Noon game, ABC, Notre Dame versus Arkansas in Fayetteville. Bounce back game for Arkansas. I'm thrilled about this one. I'm pumped.
It's gonna go one of 2 ways. They're either gonna play their tails off or they're gonna roll over and die. And I
Yeah.
think they're gonna play their tails off. To all of our
I think they're
Arkansas
gonna solid.
listeners, we love you. We were so
Mhm.
unkind about your team in the preview. This is a good football team. It is much better than their 2-2 record. Daniel, Arkansas not only covers the points, they
Folks, we think Arkansas, like Joe mentioned, not only covers the points, we think Arkansas wins outright. Give us Arkansas money line. I
big day for the
really
Hog.
I am, I really like Taylon Green, Arkansas's quarterback. That guy is so fun to watch. Uh, he's so big. He's like 6'6". He runs. He's got a good arm. I think that guy's got an NFL future. I'm a big Taylon Green fan, and you go as far as your quarterback will take you. And this Arkansas team's not afraid to they're not afraid to pound you. They run it a lot with Taylon Green and Mike Washington, and then their top receiver is actually a transfer from South Carolina, Mega Blake. So it's a
Mhm.
little disheartening to see him thrive somewhere else, but good for him. I like this Arkansas team, Joe. Honestly, they should be, and in my head, they should be 4-0.
I I this team is literally 2 fumbles for being 4. So great Arkansas team. I think it all comes home to roost. If you it just keys to the game, you look back at Texas A&M's win, mobile quarterback caused Notre
Yeah,
Dame a lot of issue. And
fits.
that is something that I don't think you can clean up in just a couple weeks defensively. I think that is just sometimes, whether it's schematically or player personnel, mobile quarterbacks will give certain defenses problems. I think Taylor Green's gonna have a big day.
I agree. I think it's the Taylor Green show, folks, and that he's a fun guy to watch. This Notre Dame team's 1-2, but I think they're probably better than their record too. So this will be a good one.
It's gonna
Let's
be a
go
good game.
Arkansas.
It's a
Make
shame
the
it's a
SEC
shame
proud.
this game is at noon, is it not? Like, this is
It's the
definitely
noon
a prime.
ABC.
Yeah, I mean, but it's this is a big I mean, this is gonna be good football. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This is you think about noon games and you think about, "Meh, I could be cooking and doing something," and this is gonna be must-watch TV. These are 2 good football teams with a lot on the line if they wanna save their seasons, both of them.
Yeah, I agree. This is a really a make season make or break game this early, which is crazy because you have 2 losses in theory, you can still make the playoffs, and if you're Notre Dame, I mean, they've got the schedule to do it, but
They've got the
they gotta
schedule to
start
do
with
it.
winning this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta win this one. Vandy, Utah State, Vanderbilt's gonna score about 60 points, so we're good there. And then the 3:30 game after this one, also ABC, LSU, Ole Miss, and this one's in Oxford, right? So it's in Mississippi. I was shocked to see LSU's the dog in this game. Ole
I
Miss
couldn't
is favored.
believe
Isn't
that
that
when I
kinda
saw the
wild?
I could not believe that when I saw the line.
What are we
It
missing?
almost it almost makes me wanna take Ole Miss to cover simply because
Smart.
what do they know that I
What
don't
do they
know?
know?
Yeah,
Exactly
I
right.
I mean, I think LSU I almost wish we should have thought ahead and gotten Steven back on here to talk about this tonight because,
Yeah. A good call.
he would probably bring a lot more insight into this game, but I just think LSU's really good. I mean, I know Clemson, the wheels have fallen off, but the Clemson that almost beat LSU and played in that football game was playing much better football than what we've seen the last couple weeks. I don't know why. Did LSU kill their program in that game? Take their heart out? I don't know why, but that was a better executing Clemson team that night. Um, so I mean, I'm big on LSU. I think it's a good football team.
I am too. I LSU's big 3, right? Garrett Nussmeier at quarterback, Caden Durham at running back, and then Aaron Anderson at receiver. I mean, that's that dog, dog, dog. Those are 3. That's probably the best quarterback in college football. It's one of the best running backs, and it's one of the best receivers. Like, that
Well,
is
and their
love it.
defensive improvement, they
The
have got
defense
a
is
pass
awesome.
rush and a back
Oh my
end
gosh.
to 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 really make a run this year. I mean, I guess if you wanna find a weak point, that offensive line is still a pretty big question mark. However, Ole Miss graduated or and sent to the pros what would have been the big advantage there from last year's team. I
Yeah.
don't think Ole Miss has the defensive front to take advantage of this. I just like I said, I almost wanna take Ole Miss in the points or excuse me, Ole Miss in the spread because, because what does Vegas know that I don't know? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, you know,
They know something.
they know
But
something,
Austin
so
Simmons is back, so that's good.
yeah, I mean, if Austin Simmons is healthy, I stand on that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC.
Yeah. He should be, he's back. They're saying he's gonna start, but, I mean, is that gonna be this is kind of the fun thing to think about on the Ole Miss side. Is he on the short leash now because Chambliss played so well?
I don't think so.
You think
I
he's
think
got
it's
full rein?
yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things when we saw Simmons playing through pain, he didn't have it, right?
Yeah,
And you're just fortunate enough to have a kid that's a gamer and a winner as your number 2, and you can go to him. But Simmons is the guy. I don't make no bones about it. I think he's the much better quarterback. Um, but if you've got a guy that causes all kind of matchup problems, and what has been LSU's Achilles heel, mobile quarterbacks, I don't really think it's a
yeah,
knock on Simmons' talent or ability. If he's still having problems on that foot, I don't think it's a knock on his ability to be like, "We're here to win this football game. This is how we're gonna do it." I don't think it's a short leash,
we're gonna roll
like,
with the
"You're
healthy guy.
messing up, we're bringing you out." I think it's, "You don't have it because you're not
Yeah.
well." So,
You start limping around, we're pulling you out, we're putting Chambliss in. We're
well,
going with the healthy guy.
it's his plant foot, isn't it? I mean, you could really see it in that Kentucky game. He doesn't have
Not
any
good.
oomph on his ball, and
No, not
if you
good.
can't deliver on time and with the right velocity, I can't have you in there.
I'm right there with you. It's a
Yeah.
shameless golf. golf plug, but I'm known for my weight transfer, right? Weight on the back foot, weight on the front foot. If that front foot's done, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble on
Toast,
the course, Joe.
toast.
So, yeah,
So, I
gotta
really
be ready.
I think LSU should win this game. We're gonna find out, was Landry Kiffin a spy? What's going on here? We'll probably have
That
to
was
wait a
so
week.
funny. The
We'll have to wait
boyfriend
a week and then probably another week to get the true story of who dumped who before we figure out which one was using who for information.
who was secretly stealing the playbook from the other.
That's right.
Um, you know what's so cool about this LSU team? I noticed this when they were playing, uh, maybe a week or 2 ago. They have that package where they have Whit Weeks and West Weeks, the
I
brothers
know.
at the 2 linebacker spots. That's so much fun.
I'm
That's
telling
awesome.
you. What a
You
cool
gotta
thing for those parents, man. That's
you gotta
you
love
know,
that. But they're right next
um,
to each other. They do that,
I
like,
know.
4-2-5 package, and it's the 2 of them are the linebackers. It's awesome.
So cool.
Very cool.
Um,
Very cool.
Last little thing I'll say about this, the winner of this game will basically have to have a meltdown to not make the play. They've got an inside track. They've got mulligans out the wazoo. You're probably looking at a favorite to be in Atlanta and I would think the winner of this, their playoff whatever that playoff percent chance thing that ESPN puts out there, it's gonna go through.
Oh, yeah.
However, I don't think either of these teams should be very concerned. I think it's just going to give us an idea of who is gonna be a shoe-in versus who is gonna have some work to do,
Who's gonna
but by
fight for
no
it?
means is someone eliminated from this.
I'm with you. I mean, 2 losses in the SEC get you in the playoffs, so you get a freebie, right? Like, Ole Miss losing to number 4 LSU, they're not gonna hold that against them, and I think this could be the year we see a 3-loss SEC team get in, so you
I
might even get 2 freebies.
I was about to say, I think there's a handful of teams from the SEC at 9-3 that probably make it over some 1 or 2 lost teams from other conferences.
Yeah, they learned their lesson last year. I mean, they left 3 good SEC teams out, Ole Miss, Bama, South Carolina. They put in a couple of garbage teams, and they got blown out, and it's like, well, we probably shouldn't do that again.
Well, they've already announced too that they've adjusted the criteria of strength of schedule more heavily emphasize it. So, I mean,
Oh,
it's
that's
all
good.
talk until you see it in action, but, like, they have addressed it, and, um, and on top of that, you know what I thought was really good, and we don't need to talk about playoffs, it's so early in the year, but,
Yeah,
the fact that only 1 year in, they redid the seeding process shows me that they're actually you know what I'm saying? That
they're
we're going to
trying. Yeah,
straight seed instead of
yeah,
these conference all kind you know, the fact that they addressed that after 1 year, we didn't wait to, "Oh, we're gonna see it over 4 years until the contract's up," or whatever. So they identified the problem, addressed it, leads me to believe that if they've identified and decided to put more emphasis on strength of schedule, that it's probably gonna be it. So I think there's 4 or 5 SEC teams that have the schedule, that if they go 9-3, they're probably gonna get a nod.
love it. South Carolina, baby. Just kidding.
Right.
No
That's right.
chance. Our season's over. Let's keep it moving. Auburn, Texas A&M. That's the other 3:30 game. Talk about competition. I'm gonna go triple box here. I'm gonna go LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, Texas A&M, and then I'm gonna have the Ryder Cup on, Joe. So I'll be
Well,
sending you
you're
some
gonna have to
texts.
switch that Ryder I mean, I'm not to jump the gun here, you're gonna have to switch that Ryder Cup over to Tennessee and Mississippi State when we talk about them in a second. But
Yeah, they're the 4th.
we'll stick on Auburn. We'll give Auburn their due and A&M their due. We're not just gonna gloss
No,
over.
no, this is gonna
Um,
be a good game. Joe,
this is gonna be a great game.
this is gonna be a
This
close
needs to
game.
be a desperation game for Auburn.
Yeah,
Don't come you're too good a team to come out of the gate 0-2, but man, College Station's a tough place to play. At least they're not having to play it at night, but it's a tough place to play.
and Texas A&M's good. I mean, they
Are
run that read option with Marcel Reed and Le'Veon Moss, and then they've got the transfer Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion at receiver.
they're
Those
also coming off a bye.
Yeah, those are 4 guys that are super good. Mike Elko knows how to play physical football. You're not gonna go in and push around a Mike Elko team, but I've been impressed with Auburn. Can Jackson Arnold get the job done? Jackson Arnold, Jeremiah Cobb, the receivers, Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, like, can he go into Texas A&M and get the job done? I think this is gonna be a very close game, folks. I think we got an exciting one here.
I think Hugh's gonna have this team ready to play.
I did
A&M
too.
coming off a bye week kinda makes me nervous for Auburn. All the noise still I mean, did you see Auburn's president put out a note today about the game from last Saturday in the officiating? I mean, it's Thursday of a new game week, and you're still talking about what happened last Saturday. I hope
Yeah,
for Auburn's sake that the team's head isn't in the same spot,
yeah,
um,
that's
because
tough.
they really need to dig down. I mean, quite frankly, you know, the officiating really hurt Auburn. We don't have to go back and rehash that. However, I think it was 9 sacks, hurt worse. I mean,
Yeah, can't get
that
sacked
hurt
9
worse.
times.
So, here's your key, Auburn. You cannot let Jackson Arnold get sacked like that. I would say you can't even let him get
Yeah,
sacked
protect
half
them.
that bad this week.
Give them
If
a
you
chance.
do that if you do that, then you got a really good shot of winning this game. Really good shot
Yeah,
of winning. There's no reason to think you cannot win this game. But you have got to keep him off the grass, um, and and, um and then you've gotta do whatever you can to keep that zone read bottled up.
and this Texas A&M defense admittedly has been a little shaky, Joe. We thought this
Has
defense was gonna be better than they've been, so,
Mhm.
um, that sort of plays in Auburn's favor too, like, this hasn't been a stout classic Elko stout D.
This is a learn a lot weekend. We're gonna learn a lot from the
Yeah,
Ole Miss
yeah,
Tennessee game, excuse me, the Ole Miss LSU game. We're gonna learn a lot from the Auburn A&M game. I mean, if Auburn goes down there and wins on the road at A&M, you gotta really start reevaluating where you got A&M in the conference.
yeah.
You
Oh,
really
yeah.
do. You cannot, as an A&M team, you cannot lose to a team you should beat at home. You can't do it.
Th
So,
This is a good week for our power rankings.
this
We're
is
gonna
I will have a power rankings this week where maybe Alabama's not in the doghouse,
yeah.
depending on how they play. If they come out and play terrible, then
This is a tease, folks. My current power rankings has, 8 different tiers, so that's exciting. A lot of tiers.
a lot of
N
tears.
Need to cut that down. Need probably maximum of 5 or 6 tiers. Alright, Joe, Tennessee, Mississippi State. In Starkville, Mississippi State has looked good. They are better than they thought we thought they would be, but I think they run into a buzzsaw here. I think Tennessee's really good. I think this offense is really hard to stop. I've got Tennessee kinda rolling in this game. How you feeling?
The bells will be ringing. The
That they
atmosphere
will.
will be electric.
Yeah,
If they can survive the first quarter, then it's gonna be a football game.
yeah.
But they have got to be buckled up. Tennessee cannot afford to lose this game.
No,
Tennessee, you know, gut-wrenching loss, did it to themselves, but they cannot go 0-2 in the SEC. Um,
I think Tennessee rolls. I
I
really like this
kinda I
offense.
kinda lean to a Tennessee cover, Tennessee win. Would really like to see the inspired effort from Mississippi State. I think you're going to. I think you're gonna see a very inspired team that believes in themselves. They just don't have the hosses yet, but kudos on Jeff Levy. They're 4-0. They've already improved over last year. I bet you they've still got a win or 2 in the tank this year, but this is a tough ask against a Tennessee team coming off that Georgia loss. Maybe if they'd have found a way to win, you could catch them napping, but this is a Tennessee team that realize they cannot lose this game. They cannot
Yeah,
lose it.
yeah, this is a must win, and is Josh Heupel like the QB whisperer, Joe? I was thinking about this the other day. So, he gets Hendon Hooker, who was, like, very average at Virginia Tech. He comes in, he starts doing the Heupel system at Tennessee and is incredible. Looks like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And then he gets the big arm man, Joe Milton. That guy is a joy to watch. He can throw the football a mile. He's massive. Looks great in the Heupel system. Then he gets Nico Iamaleava, who
He
looks
didn't look
pretty
very good. He never looked
well,
very
but compared to what he looks like now,
Yeah,
he
he looks
looks pretty
better than
good in
that.
the Heupel system. He looks like he's forgotten how to play football now. And then same thing with Joey Aguilar. You watched Joey Aguilar last year at UCLA and you're like, "This guy is extraordinarily average." You watch him now and you're like, "This guy is very good."
Well, I'd say the common thread with those last 2 is that they look terrible at UCLA, so and UCLA is terrible. So let's I don't know. I think Heifel does a really good job. I'll be honest, I understand the philosophy behind his offense, but the X's and O's, I couldn't break it down, but my understanding is it's not an overly complicated
Oh,
passing
it's just
scheme.
fast. Fast, fast,
It's
fast.
very fast, but it's not an overly complicated passing scheme, and the common theme with all these cats is they've got the legs to be able to turn maybe a third read into a not read and run.
Yeah,
So, I don't know, frankly, I don't know the X's and O's that well. I know his MO, spread you out, get the numbers in his favor, and run the football. And if the numbers aren't in his favor, it's a 1-2 read type deal. So,
yeah,
I mean, if that's what he's teaching, then, the more simple you can make it on a quarterback, the easier it is to have them excel. And because then once that then it's just all about accuracy, right?
yeah,
It's just about accuracy at that point.
and that's how college football should be. You have teams like South Carolina's a perfect example where you have these NFL OCs trying to do the pro style thing, and it's like, "What are we doing? Just run some sort of spread option like
Make it
Tennessee or like Vanderbilt
make
or like
make it
whoever.
simple.
Make it
Okay,
easy.
we get up
1, 2
there,
read, run."
we have the advantage of numbers in the box. It's gonna be some kinda dive or zone
Yeah,
read play. Okay, we're equal in the box. It's gonna be some kind of,
slant.
RPO. We have the advantage
Yeah,
on the outside. It's gonna be one of our route trees.
yeah. Yeah.
And
I
by the way,
stand
we're
by
gonna do it
that.
80 times in a game. You know we have
Joe's son's about to play flag football, and I'm gonna be the offensive coordinator. You heard it here first, so you'll see some of our offense and some clips later this year.
there
Looking forward
there
to
will
that.
be a grand total of 0 passes in the flag football. We
Not when
may
I
we
start
may
calling
have
plays.
we
RPO
may have
system.
1 or 2 passes. Very heavy on the handoff and the toss pitch
A
off
QB sneak.
at 5 and 6 years old.
We're
QB
gonna be
sneak.
running the
I do
tush
think
push. We're gonna run the
I
tush push.
I do think the QB sneak is illegal. I'll have
Okay,
to
smart.
consult you'd be surprised at how big the rule book is. I'll have to consult the rule book, but I do believe the QB sneak is
Well, if y'all's offense sputters, I'm ready to bring in my spread RPO. I'll say that.
okay.
All right. Massachusetts, Missouri. Massachusetts is one of the worst teams in college football, so congratulations to Missouri. And then last but not least, our final 2 games, the 7:30 and the 7:45 game. Joe, I'm gonna let you take this one holistically, and then if you don't mind, I'll take most of the next one. Alabama, Georgia, Joe, walk us through it.
Um, this is not gonna be popular, but what if this game really doesn't matter that much because both of these teams aren't as good as we think they are?
That's a possibility.
Could be. I'm still a big believer that Alabama has not given me any reason on paper to be excited about their effort and their execution, and until proven otherwise, they will remain doubted in my eyes.
Yeah,
Um, Georgia seems to me to have a really big advantage running the football versus our front. Um, Gunnar Stockton showed a lot against Tennessee that I
yeah,
haven't seen from him leading up to that, which doesn't bode well for Alabama. Um, on paper, probably the biggest mismatch in the game is Alabama's wide receivers and quarterback versus Georgia's DBs, but that's on paper, and
yeah.
we don't know if we can keep Ty Simpson standing upright. And if you can't keep the quarterback standing upright, it won't matter if you can get open because you can't get him the ball.
Those
Um,
DBs
yeah,
vulnerable, sorry, folks, against Tennessee, Joe. They showed some vulnerability.
yeah. I mean, that's if you go through and you look at and try to grade matchups, the most glaring mismatch on paper and then what's been on put on tape is going to be the volume of receivers we can rotate through the game
Yeah,
versus the defensive backs of Georgia. Um, Again, you gotta be able to keep Ty standing upright in the pocket to take advantage of that. Can we do it? I don't know. We sure struggled against Florida State. We didn't really struggle so much against inferior competition, but it's not there's nothing, there's nothing you can take from that. Um, 2 pretty glaring stats, and if you'll bear with me here, I'm gonna pull this up. This is for the listeners at home when you're watching. If it's a tight game, and it's midway through the second quarter, late the second quarter, midway through the third quarter, and you're trying to get a read on what's going on in the game, where we're ultimately heading to. Our the Bama Online guys, they every week, and it gets better and better as the year goes on because there's more data available. But every week they do, and it's like 20 different metrics, but they do a side by side comparison of metrics for each team as they go down. And when you go through them this week, uh, I would actually say they're even to Bama may have some of the slight edge. Now, granted, we're both teams have only played 3 games, two inferior opponents, one good competition. So these numbers aren't great to go by yet. They'll be much better later on. But I did notice pretty even throughout. Bama probably on the offensive metrics gives them a slight advantage, but there were two just absolutely glaring stats in Georgia's favor that when I looked, I went into just a wicked panic attack. I texted about 5 people. Daniel was one of them. Um, Opponent's third down conversion. So if Georgia's on defense, their opponent's going like trying to convert a third down. Same thing for Bama. Okay. Georgia's tied for 23rd in the country, only allowing 27.75% of third downs to be converted. Alabama, 121st in the country. They're allowing it a 45.95%. That's a big difference. Even worse than that, opponents' red zone TD conversion. So you're in the red zone, you convert the trip in the red zone to a TD. Georgia, not great. Tied 70th. 60% of the time teams get in the red zone, they score a touchdown. That's really not very good either, but it's not this bad. 136th, dead last at
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is that
100%.
that DFL, is that dead last?
Dead I it has to be. We're not tied for it. I don't see how you can get worse than 100% of the time. Alabama has had people in the red zone, they've given up a touchdown. Now, viewers, listeners, subscribers, you can imagine the panic attack when I saw that stat. So I dug a little deeper into it, and it actually turns out all 3 trips in the red zone against our defense this year came against Florida State. They were 3 for 3.
Makes
UNL,
sense.
Louisiana Monroe never scored. They never got close to the red zone. Wisconsin ran a touchdown back or kickoff back for a touchdown after a personal foul penalty, lengthened the kick. And then they scored on a 44-yard pass with something like 8 minutes to go in the game. We were rotating through. They never sniffed the red zone either. So it's not as dire as the stat makes it look. However, I do think both of these things are telling from the standpoint, if we get into that third quarter, and Kirby always likes to talk about, I think he calls it the middle 8 or something like that. Last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half. I think that's what he calls it, the middle 8. Um, we get through that, 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. If Georgia has been in the red zone twice already and they've scored 2 touchdowns, telling. If they've been down there, say, 3 times and they've scored 1 touchdown and kicked 2 field goals, or they scored 2 touchdowns and kicked a field goal, it might lead us to believe that Alabama's gonna keep this thing tight.
Yeah,
Uh, on the third down conversions, if Georgia's converting at 40% plus, they're gonna win this game comfortably. If they're converting less than 40%, then look for Alabama. I mean, I think that's an either/or stat. Either Georgia's gonna commit co co they're gonna convert 40% or higher. Maybe we'll go 45% or higher. They're gonna win comfortably. If they convert 40% or lower, then Alabama's probably in shape to win the game. So those are 2 just tremendous stats just to track throughout the game, and they're pretty easy. I mean, you can keep up with every time Georgia gets in the red zone if they score or not. You can go on the ESPN app and keep up with the team stats, and, like, one of the first things that they track is third down conversions and fourth down conversions. Very easy to track. The last stat key to the game is probably gonna be Georgia's yards per carry. Um, Again, that's probably plus 4.3 is probably the number Georgia's looking for. Maybe 4.5. Maybe they need to give it a little bit higher. But if Georgia's running the ball for more than 4.3, 4.5 yards or in that area, then they're going to be able to control tempo. Does not mean they're going to win comfortably, but they're going to be able to win the game in the 4th quarter or if it goes to overtime because they can control the tempo and limit Alabama's chances on offense. That number starts going below 4 and look for Alabama to be a pretty big win. If Georgia's running the ball for, say, 3.6, 3.7 yards, that is heavy or less, heavy favored of Alabama. That means Georgia's having a hard time running the ball consistently. That either means Alabama jumped out to a big lead and they're not able to run, so they're not running a lot, or Alabama out of nowhere has decided they know how to play defense and is stopping them. So, those are the 3 biggest stats that I think people should track during the game that'll probably tell the tale, and then obviously turnovers would supersede or any kinda, kick block or run back for a touchdown. That could throw a wrinkle in there that nobody but you can't base a game. Those obviously, those 3 stats could be null and void if, Georgia turns it over 3 times or Ty Simpson throws 3 interceptions, whatever it ends up being. So that's how I see it. Um, all the money is on Georgia, though. I will say that the line's not moving, and all the money's on Georgia. So take with that what you want. The last time I saw a big game like this, where it was like that, was Bama Michigan. And I sat on here and I talked for 50 minutes about how Alabama was better and that XYZ had to happen for them to lose, and XYZ happened, and we lost. And so
Yeah.
that's something to keep an eye on if that line ends up moving, if Vegas has to move it and give Alabama more points to try to get more people on Alabama to tighten it up.
I think my thoughts mirror yours pretty well, Joe. I mean, what am I watching for, right? As the sort of casual SEC fan, what am I looking for? How do Georgia's DBs hold up against Ty Simpson and Alabama's receivers? You know me. I love Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. I think that's one of the best 1-2 wide receiver punches in college football. And folks, Ty Simpson's been hot lately. He's looked really good the past few games after a shaky opener. And those Georgia DBs have looked vulnerable. They've looked susceptible to the deep pass and to some good receivers. So can Alabama take advantage? Can they throw it around the park a little bit? And then on the other side, can Alabama keep Ty Simpson upright? That's going to be a huge key to the game. Can that line block Georgia? Georgia's defensive line is nasty. Their linebackers are nasty. If Georgia's getting pressure, it could be a long game. So we're
Keep
gonna need
keep
we're gonna need to
keep
show a lot
track
of
of the
toughness there.
sacks. Keep track of the sacks. I mean, obviously, people keep track of the sacks, but the pressures, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
pressure is
sure
huge too.
ESPN will be throwing up a graphic of how many times there's pressure. Keep track of that for Georgia getting pressure or getting sacks on Ty. If Ty has 3 plus seconds to throw the ball, it's gonna be a long night for Georgia. If he's having to either bail in the pocket 2.5, 2.2 seconds in, then, then it's gonna be a long night for Alabama.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you ready to talk the finale?
Best game of the weekend, brother.
The finale, 2 of the worst teams in the SEC. The worst team in the SEC probably playing another bottom 4 SEC team. The 7:45 SEC Network game. That's Kentucky versus South Carolina, folks, and, let me tell you, I went to South Carolina, I'm a South Carolina fan. If South Carolina loses this one, Joe, I'm gonna be really sad. I'm gonna be really upset. Um and that is a legitimate possibility. So we've got Kentucky at home. Everybody knows it. Williams-Brice at night, one of the best atmospheres in college football. This South Carolina offense has been putrid. We cannot run the ball. We cannot protect Lenora Sellers. And classic Mark Stoops. Kentucky's going to come in and have a tough team. This Kentucky team is offensively is bad like we are. These are 2 really bad offenses, and these are, in my opinion, 2 kind of like fiery defenses, middle of the pack, fiery SEC defenses. So what's going to happen, folks? That's what you're wondering, Daniel. What's going to happen? I really only watched Kentucky versus Ole Miss, and I thought they looked really good against Ole Miss. Um, I think this is gonna be a dogfight, Joe. I think this is gonna be 2 teams. I would take the under. I think this is gonna be 2 teams struggling to move the ball. I think Kentucky's defense is gonna stop us, and I think our defense is gonna have a field day with them. So let's see what happens. South Carolina's gonna try a lot of things different, folks. Listen to Beamer's 35-minute presser earlier in the week. He said, "Hey, like, we can't run the ball, so we're gonna try some new things. We're gonna try a new running back, one of the redshirt freshmen, Matthew Fuller. They think they're gonna give him a few more carries. He's like the big 230-pound power back." And Beamer basically said, "If we can't block, let's put the big boy in, see if he
Hey,
can
but
break some
didn't
tackles."
didn't y'all have some tight end a couple years ago when you upset Tennessee in 22 that you ran the like, line him up at running back for, like, 10 or 12 carries a game, and he was just a
Yeah,
moose?
yeah, Jaheim Bell. Yeah, that guy was cool. Um,
It
yeah, that's
worked. It
kind of what we're
worked.
thinking here. Like, if we can't block, let's put the big boy in, see if he can break some tackles, which I like. And then Beamer outright said, like, "Hey, against Missouri, we were throwing it down the field well. We need to do more of that." So, what am I hoping to see, Joe? I'm hoping to see Sellers throw it down the field, throw it all over the park, maybe actually run and try to get yardage as opposed to just running out of bounds. That'd be a refreshing change, seeing him like run over somebody. Let's see if we can figure out the run game. I don't think we can. I think our run game's doomed. So we're going to be like a 300 plus passing yards and hope for the best team. And then let's see how our defense does. Kentucky's been doing like the two quarterback things. If you've watched them, they play Calzada, who's not good, and then there's another guy named Cutter Boley who's also not good. So they're playing
Got us a
two
visitor.
a visitor. Love it. There he is.
Billy boy, are you
There he
excited to go
is.
to the game? Is Alabama gonna win?
We don't know you.
Oh, no.
You don't know, not good.
I know you were kidding, bro.
Kentucky, both their quarterbacks are bad, but I do like they've got 2 running backs I like, Seth McGowan and Dante Dowdle. So, yeah, can they run on South Carolina? Can South Carolina throw on Kentucky? I think this is gonna be a close game, Joe. I'm not if we lose to Kentucky, this could be the beginning of the end of Beamer if we lose to
I
Kentucky.
thought we already had the beginning of the end for Beamer.
Well, I know, but people are like, Vandy and Missouri are kinda good, so it's like, if we lose to
Yeah, you're
Kentucky,
not
we
you're
might
not
win.
gonna lose you're not gonna lose this game. You're a
I
much better
think we
team than
could.
Kentucky is. Listen, I'm pulling you out of the depths of despair here. You you played Missouri pretty tough. You had every opportunity to win that game. You could have won it. The Vanderbilt game was bad. You got your butt whooped. But last week, you could have won that game if you made a couple more plays. That team was not that much better than you. You
Yeah.
are that much better than Kentucky. You're not gonna lose this game. I'm not saying the season's back on track and you're up, and away, but you are better than what you're giving yourself credit for against Kentucky. It's not gonna happen. It's
But, I
not
mean,
gonna happen. South Carolina's gonna win.
Kentucky almost beat Ole Miss, and Ole
Yeah,
Miss is way
I
better
hear
than South
you, I
Carolina.
hear you. That was in Lexington. That was a weird game because Simmons got hurt and they kept trying to play him hurt before they made an adjustment. It's not apples to apples, dude. That you're better than Kentucky. I will I will eat your entire sandwich at Rockies next week if you lose, okay? So,
Why do I
I'm
get
not sure
punished?
how that punishes,
I get
I'm
double
not sure how
punished.
that punishes
South
me
Carolina
for being
loses,
wrong,
and I
but
don't get my sandwich.
yeah. So so anyhow,
Disappointing.
I will say this. So, I did have one more thing I wanted to talk about
Yeah.
for, the Kentucky South Carolina game, and and I really want listeners, viewers, I need everybody to start getting on this train and getting on board with me. I am so sick and tired of mediocre Thursday night NFL games that we
Oh
have
my
just
gosh.
totally conceded college football to, and right now, we're recording this Thursday night, it's 10 o'clock.
Seattle,
We
Arizona.
should be we should be coming into the beginning of the 4th quarter of a ACC, Big 12, or SEC fantastic game. You
Yeah.
cannot sit here and tell me as an executive of ESPN that a 7:45 kick on the SEC network of South Carolina and Kentucky is gonna get more viewership on Saturday night while Bama and Georgia are playing on the other channel than it
They're
would
gonna get
get
no
prime
viewers.
time Thursday
Yeah.
night up against a mediocre NFL game. Or flip side of that, Mississippi State and Tennessee at 4:15 having to compete with Auburn A&M, or just flip Auburn A&M into any of those games. You could take
Yeah.
you'd keep the LSU Ole Miss game at 3:30 and take your pick of Auburn, Texas A&M, Mississippi State and Tennessee, or Kentucky and South Carolina, and stick that game on Thursday night. I will die on this hill that I remember growing up and could not wait to get home from football practice from middle school all the way through high school and see what the Thursday night game settle in. It was always good. You always had some kind of ACC, SEC, or a Big 12 or a Pac-12 game where you had a higher ranked team having to play usually on the road, and I wouldn't even call it high rate. You had an actual legit contender, and then you had a team that was a bowl team, and they found a way to put one on every Thursday, and it was fantastic. And it's I'm gonna die on this hill. That needs to return. ESPN has so much control, they can easily do this. They don't carry if I'm not like, they don't carry the Thursday night NFL game. So it's time to flex your muscle a little bit, and you can take some market share. So, that's my rant. Get it
And it
get it get it viral because I want this to
yeah,
happen moving forward.
perfect rant. It used to be Big East Thursday night. They'd have,
Oh
like,
my
the best
gosh,
Big East
dude.
game,
I
and
wanna
that was
say, wasn't
awesome.
the Rutgers USF game where
Oh,
they
yeah.
wasn't that a Thursday night game? Like, I remember that.
Rutgers was a staple on Big East Thursday Night Football. I mean, that
And they got
was
Shiano. Shiano's back. He dominated
yeah.
Thursday night games.
Welcome to
West
the Electric
Virginia, you do
Factory.
not I am sorry, you do not go into Morgantown, West Virginia, and come out of there on a Thursday night with just a cakewalk.
Exactly right.
Wouldn't
You
happen.
don't do it. Short week,
Wouldn't happen.
don't do it. I'm gonna add a rant onto Joe's rant. Before we started podcasting, I was casually watching the Thursday night NFL game on Amazon Prime. So dumb, it's on Amazon Prime. Don't get me started. Um, Marvin Harrison Jr., if you're listening, what's going on? Marvin Harrison Jr. was one of the best college wide receivers I've ever seen. Joe, he has, like, the yips. He's already dropped 2, like, wide open slants that ended up being picks. They hit him right in his
Someone named
hand.
Daniel Suthers draft Marvin Harrison Jr. on his fantasy team, and now he's a
Well,
little frustrated, and he's
I
taking it
haven't
out on
even
the big SEC Guys podcast.
so me and the high school boys do dynasty football. I've told you about this, like, all
Yeah.
the boys, and we've been doing this for a while, and dynasty, you keep them forever. So, yeah, I took Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 2nd pick last year in the rookie draft and was like, "That's a no-brainer. He's the best wide receiver I've ever seen in college." You know, this guy's insane, and, he's lost it. He's totally lost it's nuts. Alright, let's do SEC guys versus the AI and wrap things up. We're
Yeah.
running long here. We're at about 45 minutes. Um, folks, big SEC guys versus the AI. We're gonna do the quick version. We're just gonna give you the big SEC guys picks, and then we'll update you next week. Notre Dame versus Arkansas. The big SEC guys are taking Arkansas plus 4.5. The AI likes Notre Dame. Ole Miss versus LSU, the AI is split there. The big SEC guys are taking LSU plus 1.5. That seems so odd. We talked about that. Alabama, UGA, the AI and the big SEC guys all like UGA minus 2.5.
This is a
Tennessee,
mistake. This is a mistake. The big money is on the tide right now. That's why all the money
the
is on
machine
Georgia.
likes
I think it's like
UGA.
87% on Georgia of the bets are on Georgia right now, and the line hasn't budged. It hasn't budged. They're not trying to get more money to come in on Bama. That's because there's some larger bets that have
They
come out
know
of the tide.
something.
Vegas wants it. They're about to clean everybody's clock because the tide's gonna win out.
Classic. The machine, the AI likes UGA. Tennessee, Mississippi State, the AI is split. We're taking Tennessee minus 7.5. Oregon, Penn State, the AI is split again. We're taking Oregon plus 3.5. I like that one a lot. And then
Yeah,
folks,
I'm gonna pause you right there because I know we don't like to go out of the SEC that much,
yeah,
but Penn State is not built for this game.
no,
I don't care that it's at night and it's a whiteout. I will be utterly shocked. I tell you what, when we go to lunch next week, I will not get my normal order if Penn State wins this game.
love it.
I will eat now granted, the egg salad's delicious.
I get to order for you.
Oh my gosh. Alright,
That
fair enough. If I'm wrong on this and Penn State comes out and wins this game, I will be very surprised. Daniel will get to order my sandwich,
Love it.
And, but this is I'm so over Penn State being good on paper and not being able to deliver in big games. I've got Oregon winning outright. I love that they're getting points.
Yeah. Oregon, I just think Oregon's tougher. I'm not impressed with Drew Aller.
I think
I
this
could
is a mistake. I know I just talked
couldn't
about
agree
Vegas
more.
and how Vegas knows. Vegas doesn't know anything about this game. Big
No.
SEC guy does. No.
And Vegas notoriously struggles early in the college football season. We're at the point where they've got enough data to sort of figure it out, which is why some of these lines are especially weird, but
They do.
and
And
then
and I very well, guys, we're everybody who's listened to me knows how down I've been on the Crimson Tide this year after the FSU game, but I still bleed crimson and white. I've got my crimson colored glasses on. All week I've talked myself into this. So let me grab at whatever hope that I have here. Thank you very much. Continue.
I bleed garnet, but unfortunately I've bled out. I've fully
Oh,
bled
no.
out if we lose
You're
to
it's
Kentucky.
it's back on track this week. It's back on track. Stop it.
If we lose to Kentucky, I'll have fully bled out.
We
All
might
right,
just
last
shut the podcast down for this
yeah.
year if you lose to Kentucky.
This could be podcast breaking, folks. That's my motivation will be at an all-time low to edit this thing. And then finally, if you thought we weren't going to talk about the Rio Grande rivalry, folks, you thought wrong. New Mexico State, both AIs, New Mexico minus 15. The big SEC guys, we're
Not in a
not falling for
rivalry
that
game.
trap. Not
Not in
in
a
a
rivalry
rivalry
game.
game. New Mexico State Aggies plus 15 in the Rio Grande rivalry. Yeah, give me the points. Give us the points, Joe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lock it in. That's it, folks. Looking forward to it, Joe. Have a
Hey,
fun trip. Send us some content.
it's
Can't
gonna be
wait
a
to see
great
it.
trip. There will be content, even if the content is me telling you there will be no further content because 'cause I'm a terrible
Love it.
content creator. There will be content. This is gonna be a great family trip. I'm super excited. Thank you again, mom. I know
Love it.
you're gonna watch this because 'cause you're our number 1 big SEC guys fan. Uh, this is gonna be a
Ivy
great
Monroe,
week.
top tier subscriber, top tier mother.
She is. Loves to give notes. This
Love
is a
it.
great trip. So thankful. Appreciate you. It's gonna be a great weekend. Our review week episode next week's gonna be can't miss because this is
Yeah,
gonna give us a lot of direction in the conference. Real power rankings will actually start meaning something after this weekend, and there's gonna be some teams that we had to start out that are gonna be on shaky ground. So,
that
can't wait to
playoff
see
picture is
everybody.
gonna get a lot clearer.
Yes, yep, can't wait to be back, and, until then, roll tide, big weekend.
Alrighty. Have fun. South Carolina, please don't let me down. That's it. We're out.